Hello, everyone, and welcome to the journey to the world of programming. So, in this session, we are going to learn about what is the meaning of programming. Why do we need to do that? What are instructions? What are programs? You must have heard so many times about the word programming. Have you ever given it a thought that what it is actually? Let us understand in the layman language that what is programming. Before that, we should know a few basic terms like instructions, program, and software. So let's take an example. I'll tell you how to make a cup of tea. So I start by giving instructions that take a utensil, put a cup of water in it, switch on the flame, and put the utensil on the flame, etc. etc. So, what I'm telling you, I'm giving you some instructions in the form of algorithm. I'm telling you step by step procedure to do a work, that is to make a good cup of tea. Now, when I combine all these instructions, it becomes a program. And suppose I give you a recipe book wherein there are 10 recipes of making delicious North Indian dishes. So that is a complete book or a software. So this is how we understand the meaning of instructions, program, and software. Let us take an example of the banking software. I'm sure you all must have been to the ATM machines where you see a very user friendly interface asking you to choose the option like you want to withdraw the money or deposit the money or you want to change the password, etc. etc. So these are different programming modules which are combined together to form a core banking solution. Next, we move on to the IPO cycle. You must have heard the word input, process, and output many times. Have you ever thought what is the importance of IPO cycle? You will be amazed to know that the entire computer machinery works on the IPO cycle. How? Let us see. Let us take a layman example. I'll tell you how to make a good orange juice. So what do you do for that? You take the oranges as input, then you put them in a juicer, and what do you get? The output is a a fresh orange glass of orange juice. So that is how computer also works. IPO cycle. I'm giving some input to the computer. I'm giving the instruction. I'm telling him what to do. I'm giving the processing instruction in the form of arithmetic operator or logical operator, and the computer do the calculation, and finally we get the output. When it is doing the calculation, it needs some intermediate memory storage unit to do the calculations, and that is taken care by the storage device. So that is how IPO cycle works. Next, we move on to the how the computer is able to understand our language. Suppose I give you this instruction and I ask you to interpret the meaning of it. I'm sure you will find it very weird. You won't be able to understand it because it is in a different language. Same is with the computer. Computer cannot understand our language because it can understand only one language, that is the binary language. The word binary means two. So my computer can understand either 0 or 1. Where 1 is true, that means the current is flowing, and 0 means that the current is not flowing. 0 is false. Now imagine a situation when this boy is trying to talk to this robot. The boy is trying to say hello, and the machine is replying in its own language. How will the communication happen? This is not a communication because both the parties are not able to understand each other. So in between, we need a translator program that can convert binary language to high level language and vice versa. So here, one option is that we, the programmers, learn the binary language. Believe me, binary language is very difficult to learn. It is only the job of experts to understand this language. Layman cannot understand and learn binary language. So we learn high level language, and the instructions given by the programmer are converted to the binary language, and the computer is able to do the processing. And once the result is produced, of course, in the form of binary language, in the form of zeros or ones, again the translator program converts it to the higher level language so that the person can understand it. Okay, much of theory we have done. Now we are moving on to Scratch, which is going to offer us block-based programming. The best part about Scratch is that we can simply drag and drop the instructions. There is no need to memorize the syntax because we are not typing the syntax actually. There is no question of the error that comes in the case of Scratch. Scratch is a very easy block-based programming. It is a visual programming language because you are seeing the options and then you are doing it. Second point, it is event driven. What do you mean by event driven? It means that when some task is done, when some task is done, then we get the output. For example, if I click the mouse, the sprite should move, the object on the screen should move. So I am generating an event of clicking of mouse, and which is leading to the change in the object on the screen. Using the Scratch, we can even create projects, games, animations, and many more things. Believe me, it is a wonderful programming language wherein you can do wonders. And to access this, to use this, we are going to visit this website www.scratch.mit.edu. We won't waste much of time in learning about theory. We will actually do them practically. So what I am doing here, I am opening my homepage google.com, and here I am typing Scratch. The very first option, scratch.mit.edu. So this is the screen from where I am going to start. First of all, I'll click on the Join Scratch option, and I will create a user for myself, username for myself. So I'm using the name Manisha 80. I'm creating a password for myself. So I'm hiding the password from you. Again, I'm typing the password, right? And I'm clicking on the next option. Now I have to choose the country where I live. I belong to India, so I'm choosing here India. Next, choose the month and the year, and here we go. Done. Next, what is your gender? Next, and last but not the least, I have to give my email address here, and now my account will be created in a second. So my account is created. Welcome to Scratch Manisha 80. Click on the Get Started option. And now we are going to make our first project. Click on the Create button and you will see the Scratch window. It will take a few seconds. Okay, it is done. So let us first get familiar with this window. On the top, I have the File option. In the file, I have the New, Save as Copy, Edit option. Then I have this Untitled. This Untitled is actually the name of my file. I'm deleting it, and here I am writing my first project. I'm naming it as my first project. Let us see. There are three tags: code, costumes, and sound. We are going to try all of them one by one. In the code block, I have the option of motion, looks, sound, events, control, sensing, operators, variables, and my block. So by default, the first one, when I click on motion, I get the coding of motion. When I click on looks, I get to see the coding of looks, sound, and so on. I'm going to use all these blocks in front of you today only. Next is the costume option, which is going to help me to change the costume of this object. I'll tell you how. Next, a sound using which I can add different sounds. Like here I have the sound of a cat, and I can add some more sounds. I'll tell you how. This is my block palette. This is my area where I am going to drag these blocks and just leave it. It is very simple. I just need to click on this block and drag it and leave it. And can you see that this is like the jigsaw puzzles we used to play? See, I can actually bring it near, and you can see that it easily gets adjusted. So this is a jigsaw puzzle, right? When I don't want to use it, I can just simply left click and leave it back. Done. My work is done. I can simply drag it, I can drop it back. Then here I have the stage area. This is the stage area where I am going to see the output. And this pretty cat, this is the mascot of Scratch, right? So when you open a new file, by default you get the first sprite. The name of sprite is sprite1. You can change the name. I want to name it as Catty, right? I want to hide it from the stage. I want to show it. See, I'm using the eye icon. I want to increase the size of the sprite to 200. I want to reduce it to 50. Are you getting it? So here I can even change the direction of my sprite. This is called sprite, the mascot of Scratch. The first sprite is the cat, and I am changing the direction of my sprite, right? I can even type the number, and now I want it at an angle of 90 degrees, so I'm typing here 90. Now, one thing that you have to understand is I can simply left click on this sprite and move it here and there. Can you notice that these coordinates are changing when I am moving the sprite like this? So it is x90, y minus 55. Let me make it x0. I'm simply pressing the backspace key and changing. This is the center of the stage 00. And now we have to use our mathematical knowledge here. You remember about graphs. Graphs, the x-axis and the y-axis. The x is the horizontal one, and the y is the vertical. So I hope all of you know the concept of integers. Now this is my x-axis, and the center is 0, 0. Right, on the right side of 0 I have the positive integers, and on the left hand side of the 0 I have the negative integers. See, I'm taking my sprite towards right. Now x is 127, that makes plus 127. I'm moving it towards left of 0. It is minus 169. Similarly, this is my y-axis and this is my 0. So above the y-axis, above the 0, I have the positive y coordinates, and below I have the negative y coordinates, right? Now, if I want to add any new sprite, what I am going to do? Can you see this icon? Plus, choose a new sprite. Oh my God, I have so many sprites here, and I can even go to the category. If I want a cake, I can go to the food category and insert it. I don't want this catty now. I'm just clicking here, and this is my delete icon. I have this beautiful cake, and I am adding another sprite here. Okay, I want Danny. Yes, I want Danny near the cake, right? So this is how it works. Isn't it looking beautiful? Now I want a background also. Can you see this backdrop option? Choose a backdrop, and I want some indoor. I want the scene of this, okay, room 2. So here I have the sprite on the table. I can reduce the size of the sprite, okay, a little more, so that it looks that the cake is on the table and my Danny is standing here near the cake. Now let us add some life to this sprite. Let us add some life to our movie. And how we are going to do that? I want Danny to move 10 steps forward, right? So here in the motion, I have this block move 10 steps. But I need to specify when Danny has to move. I want that Danny should move whenever I click on him, right? So it means I have to generate an event. If you remember in the PowerPoint presentation, I showed you, it was written that Scratch is a block-based programming language in which all the things are event-driven. So it means I have to generate an event, go to the event option, and when do you want Danny to move? When you click on Danny, so I am dragging this block. When this sprite clicked, this means I have selected Danny. So this coding I am doing for Danny. Move 10 steps. Wonderful. Now let us try to play it. I am clicking on the flag option. Now when I click on Danny, it moves by 10 steps. Again when I click on Danny, it moves. Isn't it beautiful? Now suppose I want that uh, when instead of when this sprite clicked, I want to use when flag clicked. Means whenever I run this coding, whenever I click on the flag option, Danny should move. So I can see Danny moving, but now it has reached the end of the stage. I don't want it to go out of the stage. So what I am going to do, I am going to add a coding from the motion only, and that is if on edge bounce. Means what happens if it reaches the edge. Then I am choosing set rotation style left right. What will happen? Let us see here. It has turned back. Isn't it beautiful? Whenever it reaches, when if on edge bounce, as soon as it reaches the edge, the rotation style changes and it will come back. So I hope you liked it. Okay, I am adding another sprite here, and this time let me add, okay, let us choose some, okay, let me take this bat. Oh, here is this bat, and I am reducing the size of the bat. So this is the bat. Now I have clicked on this sprite. I am going to the event option. Okay, I am taking when space key pressed. So whenever the space key, I can choose any other key also. I can go for up arrow, down arrow, right arrow, left arrow. Okay, I'm going for up arrow. So what should happen when the up arrow is pressed? So it should glide 1 second to a random position. I'm saying it is glide 1 second to a random position. Means whenever I click the up arrow, this should glide to a random position. So it is moving randomly. I am not deciding the coordinates. Okay. Now I want when I press the up arrow, it should glide towards the mouse pointer. So here is my mouse pointer. I press up arrow, it moved towards the mouse pointer. Now I am bringing my mouse pointer near the cake. I press the up arrow, the bat moves towards the mouse pointer. Right? Now again I am choosing it to random position. And what I am doing, I want the sprite to keep on moving. I should not press the up arrow again and again. I want that whenever I click on this green flag, this sprite, this bat should keep on moving. So what I am doing, I am throwing this when up arrow back. I am going back to the events, choosing when flag clicked, and from the control, I am choosing forever block. Now let us see if this forever, the word forever means it will go on and on. So I am taking the forever, and yes, it is fixing here. I want it to glide to random position, and I am fitting this option in the forever block. Now let us see. So my sprite that is bat is moving forever, right? And in the in this coding, the coding of the sprite Danny, I have written that it should move once for 10 steps when I click on this option flag. And on edge bounce, it is coming back. So I hope this much is clear. Now I'm stopping the coding, and now what I'm going to do, let us do some more coding for Danny. Okay, what I am trying to do is now I am changing the costumes. Let us go to the costume tab, and here this is Danny B and this is Danny C, right? So in Danny B, I am changing some colors. I'm adding some bright colors to this sprite. So my Danny B is ready in red, right? And my Danny C in, I'm making it uh, this yellowish green. And okay, this much is good enough. So let us come back to the coding. I'm repeating this block, I'm removing this block, and now I'm going to the looks option, and I want that when flag is clicked, first of all it should say hello for 2 seconds. So I'm dragging say hello for 2 seconds. Switch costume to, I'm making it Denny B, right? And now I want it to wait for some time. So what I am going to do is I am going to choose the option of waiting for a second. Okay, let us see the output here first. What is happening when I am clicking on the flag option? It is saying hello, and then the costume is changing, right? I want some time lapse between the this and the next costume. So what I'm trying to do is I'm going to add I'm going to give a break of 1 second. Okay, not of 1 second. I'm going to give a break of 2 seconds, and then I want it to say, okay, think for 2 seconds, and then I want it to change the costume to, okay, here I'm making it Denny A, and here I am making it Denny B. So let us click on the flag. It says hello for 2 seconds and the costume changes. And now it will wait for 2 seconds and say and the costume is changed. So this way I can switch the costumes. Similarly, I can also switch the backdrop. See here only after the change in costume, I am changing the backdrop to some other backdrop. Okay, I have this backdrop too, and now I want to add another backdrop. Say I want this blue sky, right? I'm going back to the coding of Denny, and after it says for 2 seconds, I want to change the background to room 2. I'm stopping it, I'm starting it again, and okay, here all by okay, now the backdrop has changed. So this is how it works. So I hope this much is clear to all of you. Now next we move on to the sound option. So here only I can add some sound whenever I want some new sound. Okay, let us go to the sounds option and add a sound. We have many sound options like the sound of electric piano. I'm adding the sound of electric piano here. I'm going back to the coding, and after the backdrop of changes to room 2, I want it to play electric piano. And so when I click here, it is the bat is moving, the costumes are changing, it is thinking, and at last, when the background changes, it plays the sound of electric piano. You can add any other sound, and even you can even record your own sound, right? So that is also not difficult. You just have to allow Scratch to use your microphone, and then you can start recording by clicking on the record button, and then you can stop recording and you can play that sound. So this was all about the sound option. Now that is okay. I'm saving this project. I'm clicking on save now, and now I'm going to make another project where I'm going to change the looks of sprite in a different manner. I'm opening a new project, and here I'm going to add some letters. I'm going to write the word hello, and I will change the looks of those alphabets. So I'm deleting the sprite. I'm going to the choose sprite option, and here I have the letters option. I'm taking this H, I'm placing it here. Similarly, I am going to add more alphabets, and I'm doing it very fast. So I'm having, okay, L, again I'm having, and I have to take another L, and then I want O. So I'm arranging them in the appropriate order on the stage so that it makes sense. I'm selecting the first sprite. I want that whenever the user presses the up arrow key, no, okay, let it be, let the user press the H key. So what should happen? This sprite should move 10 steps, no, okay, I'm making it 20 steps, and then what should the sprite do after moving it, after moving itself? It should change its size. I am changing its size by 40. So let us play it. I am pressing the H key. So it has moved and it has increased the size. See, I am doing it again. Are you getting it? Now I am doing something for the alphabet E. I am relocating this H. I am going to the alphabet E. I want, let me create a duplicate. Duplicate, I have created the duplicate of the same code. Now instead of H, here I am taking small e. So when small e clicked, what do we want? We want to set the color effect to 60. Okay, let us play it. I'm pressing the alphabet E. Okay, I'm sorry, I have done the same coding. I have done the coding for H. I have selected the wrong sprite. Let me choose the sprite E, and I am choosing the coding. When space key pressed, here I am choosing E. So what should happen? So whenever I want to change in the looks of the sprite, I have to go to the looks option, and here I am going to choose change the color effect by 25. I am making it 50. So when I press the alphabet E, see the color effect has changed by 50. Now I'm making it 80. So I press the alphabet E and the color effect changes, right? And now for the sprite L, capital L, what I'm going to do, when L is clicked, what should happen? I'm changing the, I'm going to give it a different effect. I'm choosing this option, and here I am going to change the color to mosaic effect. I'm making it 30. So here, when I press the L key, see the mosaic effect. It looks so beautiful, right? Similarly, I can do the coding for L and O. See, one thing I would like to show you here. For this alphabet O, what I am doing, when I click on alphabet O, what should happen? I want this sprite to disappear. I want to hide this sprite. So I am choosing the hide option here. So I am pressing the alphabet O, and my O is gone. So this is how it works, right? Now I'm creating a new scenario. I'm removing these sprites from the stage. And when I remove the sprite, the coding also gets deleted. I'm taking a backdrop of an ocean. Okay, let me see if we have a sea background effect here. And yes, we do have, yeah, we have the underwater. So the background is underwater. And let me take some underwater animal. Okay, do we have and octopus here. Yeah, we have an octopus. So here is my octopus. Now, what do I want? I want to move this octopus, right? So what I'm going to do is, I'm choosing the option when flag clicked, right? So what should happen? Okay, let us take the concept of arrow keys here. I'm taking right arrow. So when I click on right arrow, what should happen? This should, my x should change by +10, right? And I am creating a duplicate of the same code. When left arrow, when left arrow is clicked, I have to move to the left, so I'm changing it by -10, right? So let us play this. I am pressing the right arrow, it is moving towards right hand side. When I press the left arrow, it is moving towards left hand side. Is that clear to all of you? So here I want another sprite. Okay, I want a starfish. Let me find a starfish here. Okay, where is it? Okay, here we have the starfish. So for the starfish, I am writing the coding that whenever flag is clicked, what should happen? This starfish should glide to a random position. So let us see the effect. I am decreasing the size of starfish so that it looks in proportion to the octopus. I am playing it. So when I move on right arrow key, this moves, octopus move to right, left arrow key, it moves to left. But I want this starfish to keep moving on the screen. So and I want it to do it only for 10 times. So when I wanted it to move all the time, I used the forever block. But I want it to move only for 10 times. So I am using the repeat 10 times and glide 1 second to random position. So this starfish will keep on moving for 10 seconds to random position, and after that it will stop. So here we see that after 10 times it has stopped. So this is how it works. So in the next session we are going to learn how to create games, how to create a calculator. I'm going to give you the concept of sensing, operators and variables in the next session. So please do try all these things so that and be ready for the next session. Thank you so much.